Nowadays, we are so used to getting what we want instantly. The problem is, many tend to bring this mindset when they invest in real estate. And when you do, you will surely be missing out on the best part of investing. So let's talk about one of the most important virtues in real estate and how you can use it to your maximum advantage. I'm Edric Magwan, and this is The Real Deal. We live in a world where we can get practically anything at the tips of our fingers. Ordering restaurant food on demand, shopping for anything with just a few taps on our phone, and even planning every detail of our vacation at the comfort of our own home. We can get anything we want, and when we can't, we get frustrated and angry. When we want something, we want it now. We want instant gratification. And many, especially millennials, bring this mindset to real estate investing. Investing in real estate is surely very rewarding, but it could be a long journey that at times may discourage people from starting because they simply can't wait for when the returns will come. But once they do get started, some tend to second guess their decision, especially when they invested in a pre-selling property that has not yet turned over. Ano ba nakukuha ko sa pag-invest dito? I feel like I'm just paying cash every month. Di ko naman nakita ang returns. Di ko pa mapa-rent out. Maybe I should just let go of this property. But when this happens and you decide to let go, you will be surely missing out on the best part of investing, the long-term exponential gains. Yes, having instant gratification mindset when investing could prevent you from ever getting to your goal of financial freedom. So ano ba dapat ang mindset when it comes to investing in real estate? Well, there's no better way to explain this than the parable of the Chinese bamboo tree. A man once planted the seeds of a bamboo tree. In its first year, he nourished the tree diligently. He gave it water, light, and fertilizer, but after 4 years, there were still no signs of growth. At this point, the man started to question if he just wasted his time and effort. But just as he was second-guessing himself, he found that a leaf began to sprout from the seed he was nurturing for the past 4 years. He continued to water and nurture the plant, tapos nagulat na lang siya, within 6 weeks from the first leaf, the tree rapidly grew and is now 80 feet tall. So what happened? Wala ba talaga nangyayari sa bamboo tree sa unang 4 na taon, tapos biglang lumaki na lang siya in the 5th year? Sa totoo lang, the bamboo tree was growing even during the first 4 years. But it was growing underground, developing its roots that will be strong enough to support its outward growth in the 5th year. But if the man gave up on this endeavor, never na niya makikita ang paglaki ng bamboo tree niya. Hindi na siya magbe-benefit dito. Patience is indeed a virtue in real estate investing. Ang pag-invest sa real estate, pareho lang sa Chinese bamboo tree story. Especially when you invest in pre-selling properties, which, coincidentally, typically also takes 4 to 5 years. When you invest in a pre-selling property, you pay a monthly down payment habang pinapatayo pa ang property. Di mo pa nakikita ang property mo, wala ka pa ring rental income. But be patient, because it is growing. In general, the longer you hold onto the property, the bigger the gains. So long as you continue to nurture your property each month when you pay the monthly down payment. The value of the property will continue to grow so long as you have invested in a good development in locations with strong fundamentals. If you want to know which locations and developments have high growth potential, schedule a free consultation with me or message me by the link in the description. Ang pinakamahalagang lesson na natutunan ko when investing in real estate is that you should never ever panic and even put yourself in a position to just be reactive. When this happens, you tend to always make poor decisions. To avoid this, you should always maintain control of your finances. One of the most important ways to take control is to build and maintain an emergency fund even before you start investing. In case of any unforeseen financial distress, the emergency fund gives you enough time to adjust and get back to your normal situation without having to sacrifice your investments. This goes a long way to avoid selling your property at break-even price or worse, at a loss. Taking control of your finances is something I discussed in detail in my other video. Check it out. But even knowing you have financial control doesn't mean you are not prone to emotions of panic or making poor decisions. Very important din ang mindset. So here are some tips you can do to keep you calm in any situation and help you make better investment decisions. Tip number 1. Track your property's capital appreciation. With many other investments like stocks, you can easily and automatically get up-to-date information on its current market prices versus your purchase price. With real estate, this isn't as readily available. You can't simply log into a website to check. As such, some investors who pay a down payment every month may question the investment. So I would highly recommend you keep informed on the current list prices being offered by the developer of similar properties to yours. Or if your property has already turned over, you can compare the market price of your property in the secondary or resale market. Di mo naman kailangan tutukan ito araw-araw. Real estate is a lot more stable than stocks. There are rarely any wild swings in real estate prices day to day. Kahit once a year mo lang gawin ito, or even every other year for the first few years. Give your investments time to set its roots. Then compare the capital appreciation of your property versus all the cash you have invested into it. Your capital appreciation is simply the current market price of your property less your purchase price. For example, you bought a property at a total price of 6 million pesos 2 years ago, and to date, you've paid a total of 500,000. Today, similar properties are selling for around 7 million. This means that you have a capital appreciation of 1 million for 500,000 cash investment. Comparing your capital appreciation versus your cash investment can put your mind at ease and answer if your investment was worth it. You will also know how efficient you are with your money. Before we move on to tip number 2, if you find this content helpful, hit the like button. Tip number 2, ask yourself, will selling now give me more benefit in the long run? Minsan, kahit nakikita natin na malaki naman ang pagtaas ng value ng property natin, people still tend to think in terms of cash on hand. But selling your asset to have cash right now is not always the smartest thing to do. So before you decide to sell the property, consider the financial impact in the long run. Where will you invest the proceeds from the sale of your property? Will this new investment justify the cost of selling the property? Will your new investment generate higher gains than your current property plus the transaction costs of selling? These are very important things to ask yourself before making any big financial decisions. Certainly, just about the worst thing you can do after selling the property is to spend the proceeds on expensive stuff that depreciates in value. Nawala na ang possible future gains in the long run, tapos bumili ka pa ng things that deteriorate na probably hindi mo naman pala talaga kailangan. Investing is about long-term gains. It is about investing in assets that will continue to contribute to your financial well-being for decades to come, so you earn even while you are asleep. Tip number 3, gather information before making a decision. When there are unfavorable market changes, we tend to panic. But before making a decision, make sure you understand what is really happening by doing your own research. Gather as much information as you can from different reliable sources. Don't just rely on hearsay and mere headlines. Aside from assessing the market, also check your financial standing. Realistically, are you in any real danger of losing the property? Ask the questions I presented in tip number 2. Many times you'll find you just have to be patient. Time and information will always be your greatest allies in ensuring you always make the right decision for yourself. Just how powerful is patience? Well, let me tell you the story of one of my clients. There was a time he had a hard time continuing his pre-selling condo unit. Bills started piling up and he had to miss a few payments. But he took a step back and thought about the impact if he just let go of the property. He would lose the property while only getting back 50% of the total payments he made under Maceda law. This didn't seem like a decision that will benefit him in the long run. So instead, he chose to hold on, do everything he could to not lose the property, and eventually caught up to the payments he had to make. The result? When he was ready to sell his property under his own terms, he made a 100% net profit compared to all the cash he paid out, effectively doubling his money. When you practice patience, you will surely see the huge benefits of your real estate investments. When you're getting impatient, take time to really consider the financial impact and results of your decisions, rather than just deciding on a whim. And most of the time, you will find that staying the course, being patient, and nurturing your real estate investment will be the best action you can take. Thank you for watching. If you want to inquire about the pre-selling developments that I offer, you may get sample computations or sign up for a free consultation by visiting my website or by messaging me on my social media. I'm an accredited broker of the country's most trusted developers. And if you want to learn more about real estate investing, please subscribe to my channel and check out my other video. Let's get rich and financially free, one property at a time.